How's it going? Just making sure everything is working. Let's see. Oh, I'm gonna have issue with this. All right. There we go. It looks like it's working. Yeah. Okay, this is a live stream, of course. I'm doing multi-streaming, simulcasting to 3 different platforms. So I'll try to keep track of all the different chat windows, and I'll try to respond to anything that I see related to the drinks I'm going to be trying out today. Anything unrelated, I'll probably wait to respond to. So we've got 2 different drinks today to try out. Powerade Fruit Punch, just a regular one. And then we've got this Gfuel Lingonberry. Yeah. So maybe I'll start with the Powerade. Do something a little less unusual to start off. There we go. All right. Take a look at this Powerade Fruit Punch. This is a 20 fluid ounce, 1.25 PT, 591 milliliter drink. This should be the same size as the one that I have linked on Amazon. So, should be the exact same information. Let's take a look at the nutrition facts. Serving size, 1 bottle. 130 calories for the serving. It says 400 milligrams of sodium, 70% of your daily value. That's a pretty significant amount. Total carbohydrates, 34 grams. Total sugars, 34 grams. 0 grams of protein. It has trace amounts of calcium, potassium. Well, trace amount of calcium, and then has 130 milligrams of potassium. And then 20% of your daily value of vitamin C, and 60% of your daily value of B12. And then also a trace amount of magnesium. This nutrition fact label is really weird. I'll show it on screen after I'm done with the ingredients here. So we've got water, high fructose corn syrup. You know, high fructose corn syrup is a thing. At least know you're drinking it. Less than 0.5% of citric acid, electrolytes, which is salt, sodium citrate, magnesium, and calcium chlorides. And then monopotassium phosphate. And then B12, vitamin C, natural flavors, medium chain triglycerides, modified food starch, glycerol ester of rosin, which keeps everything mixed, as far as I understand that ingredient. Calcium disodium EDTA to protect flavor, and then has red 40 coloring in here. And produced by Coca-Cola Company in Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, that looks like all the information we need to take a look at. Of course, I'll show this all on screen for you. It says 50% more electrolytes. This thing has a lot of salt in it. There's the size. 20 fluid ounce. It says fruit punch flavored with other natural flavors. Yeah. We've got the nutrition fact label. And then we also have the ingredients down there. It's kind of hard for me to get all of it on camera at the same time because it's curved. Now you can see the high fructose corn syrup, natural flavors, red 40 coloring. Yeah, a lot going on. High fructose corn syrup, yeah. Anyways, I think we're good on that. There's a bit of information up here as well. All right. Let's pop this open. It is very red. You can smell it already. Yeah, that's what it looks like. All right. Try this thing out. Again, this is the Powerade Fruit Punch. Yeah, it is very salty tasting. Fair amount of sweetness as well. Tastes pretty decent. You definitely notice the sodium in here. You as in me, but I feel like most people would. This isn't something you'd want to drink normally, just as like as a everyday thing. I don't think. Maybe in the morning just to rehydrate yourself, or maybe, obviously for sports. But I wouldn't go and drink a ton of this because that is a lot of sodium. 400 milligrams. And it says 17% of your daily value in one drink. So, I mean, I feel like water is always a good option too. Just regular water. It's moderately sweet, even with the 130 calories of sugar, basically. It's fairly decent sized drink. So the calorie count isn't crazy, but it is a fair amount. I think it tastes pretty decent. I'm not a fan of red 40 or any type of coloring, but they still add that to drinks. Also with the high fructose corn syrup, it would be nice if it were just like regular table sugar, but that, I guess it's cheaper to produce with high fructose corn syrup. Yeah, not too bad. Obviously, I feel like this is a very specific drink. If you're going to be working out, if you're going to wake up and you want some serious hydration, something like this might be an interesting option. I think it tastes fine. It's not something I would go out of my way to drink casually or just drink for the sake of it. But yeah, if I specifically want to hydrate, I think this could be a decent option, which is kind of the point, right? So yeah, that is the Powerade Fruit Punch. All right. Next up, first I'm going to rinse out my cup a little bit. It's 300 milligrams of caffeine energy drink. That should be good enough. Where's the front of the can? Okay. Taking a look at this Gfuel Lingonberry. Now this one is not labeled as the PewDiePie thing, but it's basically the same drink, I think. I don't really know much about him. I never saw his stuff back when he was super popular. I have seen some of his recent stuff about Linux, the operating system, and AI research. But other than that, I don't know anything about him. Anyways, yeah, this is the Gfuel Lingonberry. 16 fluid ounce, 473 milliliters. Let's look at the nutrition facts. So the serving size, one can has 0 calories, 0 grams total fat, 65 milligrams of sodium, which is 3% of your daily value. So it'll be up to 20% if I drink these two. And then we've got potassium, 140 milligrams, niacin, 4 milligrams, B12, 0.6 mcg, vitamin C, 45 milligrams, B6, 0.4 milligrams, and then zinc, 2.2 milligrams. So a fair amount of vitamins in here. And then the big deal here with the Gfuel is 300 milligrams of caffeine. That is a lot to me. I mean, it's not insane, but it's a lot of caffeine. And then we've got the ingredients: carbonated water, citric acid, malic acid, sodium gluconate, something like that. I don't know. Natural and artificial flavor, caffeine, vitamin and amino acid blend, which is all the stuff that I listed earlier. Let's see if there's anything else in here. As potassium sorbate, which is a preservative, potassium citrate, sucralose, and then acefame potassium. So sucralose and acefame potassium are two different sugar alternatives. They're sweeteners, 0 calorie sweeteners. Note that those are in here, and do your research so you understand what you're consuming, because there is definitely some research on those too. All right. I'm okay drinking it, but I do drink reviews, so I wouldn't go out of my way to drink sucralose and the aceflame potassium, usually. And then it says contains natural and artificial flavors on the front. 0 sugar, performance energy, according to them. Extreme focus, according to them. Yeah, I think that's it for the can here. I'll show it on screen. Is that gamer fuel? Is that what their Gfuel stands for? I don't know. So they took the branding off. I'm pretty sure it used to say something else there. At least the Amazon product photo says something different. Anyways. There's the nutrition facts. Not much to it. And we've got the vitamins. There you can see the percentage, daily value percentages. And then we've got the caffeine, 300 milligrams. I could see it's made in New York. And then we've got our caffeine warning. Where's the... And the big list of ingredients. I'm going to try to hold the Can stable. So things to take note of clearly is the sweeteners used. And normally with ingredients, you have the thing with the most quantity on the top. So carbonated water and citric acid, malic acid are up there. And then you can see caffeine is pretty high up the list. That's 300 milligrams. All right. I think we're good on that. There's nothing exciting on the top. There we go. Let's pop this open. Oops, just dripped some gamer fuel on my mouse pad. At least it's 0 sugar. There it is. Probably should have gone with this one first because it's clear, but I did clean out my cup a bit from the Powerade. It's very red. So that's what it looks like. It's nice that they don't add any artificial coloring, at the very least. Yeah. Cool. All right, let's do a smell test. Yeah, it does have a slight, like, artificial berry smell. Yeah. It doesn't smell bad. Smells pretty nice. All right, let's try out this Gamer Gfuel Lingonberry. It's a pretty decent tasting drink here. The sweeteners that they use aren't amazingly noticeable in like aftertaste, which is nice. I mean, it is kind of artificial tasting in general, but it's just kind of what you get with this combination of ingredients. The carbonation went away pretty quickly. There is a fair amount of sourness. That it has citric acid and malic acid. Yeah. A little bit of sodium as well, 65 milligrams. So that contributes to the overall flavor a little bit. Yeah, I'm not really sure how I would describe the berry flavor. I think it tastes fine. But yeah, it's not anything natural tasting, really. I mean, it says contains natural and artificial flavors, but yeah, it's not like juice or anything like that. Just in general, I'd say it tastes pretty decent for what it is, but you know, that's personal preference. Yeah. Let's try it from the can, see if the carbonation is any different. bit of marketing stuff here. Official drink of esports. That seems very generic. Can they even say that? Because, yeah, how can you be the drink of esports? Unless is the word esports, is that copyright? Okay. Yeah, it's definitely better carbonation wise from the can. So I'd say just drink it from the can instead of using a glass or, glass with ice or anything. But it would be fine in a glass with ice. You just would lose a lot of that carbonation. Overall, I think it tastes pretty decent. Obviously, 300 milligrams of caffeine, at least to me, is a lot. So I'll be feeling it later, I'm sure. I think the overall flavor is some sort of berry flavor. I think it's fine. But yeah, that's just personal preference. It's hard to describe the flavor in ways that would make sense. But I think it tastes decent. So that is the Gfuel Lingonberry. Yeah, not too bad. All right. That is it for me with the little drink reviews. I go by Scotty Joe food reviews with these. Sorry. But I also do camera reviews and electronics reviews and stuff too. Yeah. All right. I'm going to sign out of that. In this